You know, I'm not surprised that West Ham got relegated. I'm more surprised that it took this long for them to get relegated. Um, Although I am from the US, I still support West Ham like very heavily. And I've been watching them over the years just kick the can down the road till it finally happened. West Ham have gotten relegated to the second tier of English football. And today I just kind of wanted to review the season and kind of the events that led up to West Ham getting relegated. And although it is kind of sad, it's not something I'm surprised that happened. And I don't want to beat a dead horse with this, but if you're a West Ham fan or you've kept a close eye on what has happened to West Ham, there's only one true person to blame for this, and that's the ownership. GSB has probably driven this club to the ground with how far they've gone to more or less make West Ham a brand than a team. They've done what we do here in the US, and that's kind of value any big franchise as the sense a franchise. They don't in a sense care about what the results are. They care more or less to make money off of what they have. And as they really should. You know, they put their money into it, they should get the money back. But with that, they're just dumping money to something and hoping that something comes out of it, but they don't really in a sense care to see that it's successful, which is kind of backwards, stupid. They've kicked West Ham out of their home. They sold the stadium that made them very famous, one of the toughest stadiums to play at. They sold it to an investment fund, and they didn't even buy a stadium. They decided to rent a stadium. They are renting the London Stadium, which is huge, but they've had that stadium for 10 years, almost 11 years, and it still doesn't feel like home. It feels like West Ham is in somebody else's apartment. It's never felt like home. They've had ever since they've been playing in that stadium, it's felt like they're playing away. They struggle. They struggle very heavily in that stadium, and they've tried so many things to make it feel like home. They've done the bubble cannon, they've put the carpets all around, and it just doesn't feel like a home game. Like, it never does feel like a home game, even though they've had years where they've been playing well. They can fill out that stadium like nobody else can, and there's still something off about it. It just doesn't feel like Upton Park. It feels like somebody just dumped a stadium in the middle of a city and told you that's where you're gonna play at. Like, it just doesn't feel like home. I know I'm like kind of repeating myself here, but it's just not the same. Like, I started supporting West Ham like around 2015, and as you can see, I've only had like 1 year to really see what they could do in Upton Park, and it was beautiful. That's what really got me into being a West Ham fan. The atmosphere, what they can do. The team just played so well. They felt so comfortable, so confident in that stadium. And as soon as they went to the London Stadium, it completely changed. It's like a flip of the switch, and it's not surprising because a lot of teams, when they do renovations to their stadium, they have to go to another stadium. Obviously, they just can't play in a stadium that's kind of under construction. Some teams do, which I understand. You kind of do want to be in that home stadium, but they rent out another stadium, and they struggle pretty badly in those stadiums because they're just not used to it. Um, West Ham didn't even get the chance to renovate their stadium. They just lost it, and now they have to play in this building. It's not home. It's not home to them. It's sad that GSB really chose to sell the home for this mess. It's disgusting. And it's not just the stadium. The transfer windows that they have been responsible for have been pretty bad, especially since I've been watching them. In my opinion, they've always needed three positions, and that's either a striker, a midfielder, or just a winger. There's been occasions where they've had one or the other, but it's been very rare that they've had all three. And the one year that they did have all three with Mikel Antonio, Jared Bowen, and Declan Rice, they won the Conference League. Ever since then, they've never had that core, and guess what? They're in this position. I can go through the years of the good players that they got and the amount of players that they just completely whiffed on. I mean, the good players, I can name them right now. With Dimitri Payet on the wing, Mikel Antonio as striker. They originally got him to be a defender. They forced him to be a striker, and he was pretty good. Marko Arnautovic, he was pretty good as striker for a couple years. Pablo Fornals, he was pretty good in midfield. Suchek was good. Lingard was good for the one season that we had him. Paqueta was decent for the year. Jared Bowen, obviously. Lanzini, obviously. If you want to argue Ben Rama, I guess. Somerville's been pretty good when he's healthy. Mateus Fernandez this year. And I'll probably argue Tati Castellanos this year as well has been pretty decent. And that's it. Honestly, over the 10 years, that's it. And we can name off the whiffs off the back for those three positions that I just named. I can name all the whiffs that they've had with Ener Valencia, Checo Coyote, Sacco, Pedro Obiang, Andre Ayew, Robert Snodgrass, Chicharito, Jordan Hugo, Felipe Anderson, Andrei Yarmolenko, Lucas Perez, Sebastian Haller, Abian Ajeti, Nikola Vlasic, Gianluca Scamacca, Danny Ings, Maxwell Cornet, Mohamed Kudus, Edson Alvarez, James Ward-Prowse, Nicholas Fulkrug, Luis Guilherme. Like, and even this year, you can probably say that Paulo de Jesus is kind of turning into a flop. Like, it's ridiculous that you waste all that money on these whiffs, and like I said, they don't care. They just care about the names that they can bring in. Like, for example, when they bring in guys like Aaron Wan-Bissaka, we got this former Manchester United player. Come watch West Ham. We have Kurt Zuma, the former Chelsea player. We have Patrice Evra. He came out of retirement to come play for West Ham. We have Chicharito. Come watch West Ham play. We have the Mexican captain, Edson Alvarez. Come watch West Ham play. We have former center back for Arsenal, Mavropanos. Come watch West Ham play. They don't care if the player turns out well. They care about the names that they can bring in that are kind of, out there, that are making a buzz that, oh, these players are good. Maybe they can be good for West Ham. And in a sense, if you're looking from the outside in, that makes sense. You can bring in, for example, a guy like Felipe Anderson, who in, I forgot what year we brought him in for. It was in the 2018-2019 season. He was doing incredible for Lazio. The buzz. Felipe Anderson, he could be pretty good for West Ham. They brought him in and he flopped. There's so many names or so many instances where this has happened, where they can bring in a guy that's kind of bringing in a buzz. They don't care how it matches up to the system. They care that it's a name. Make it work out with all these managers. And of course, the managers really have little to no say. And as many of the fans that want to blame the managers, you have to look at the ownership that are forcing these players onto the management and telling them figure it out. And I'm not that sort of person to put the blame or all of the blame on a coach, because you can be dealt under bad circumstance of an organization just being like, hey, here's this player, make it work. There is one coach that West Ham had that was pretty bad, but for the most part, Big Sam, Slaven Bilic, David Moyes, Manuel Pellegrini, Lopetegui, and Nuno, I don't really blame them. Did they have like brain dead decisions that I don't agree with? Yes, but no coach is perfect. Like, even the best coaches have like bad days where they just make a bad decision that leads to games being lost. But like I said, there is one coach that I definitely put the blame on. Like, I'm not going to say 100%, but like 90% of the blame, it goes to you, brother. And that's Graham Potter. Not only last year, where you brought in to make the defense more suitable for West Ham to kind of be not laughed at. The defense was pretty bad before Graham Potter. He somehow found a way to make it worse. They went for being bottom, like top 5, top 10 worst defenses in the league to the worst. At the start of the season as well, he came in and tried to take away the captaincy of Jared Bowen. That pissed off Bowen pretty badly. Not only did it piss him off, it pissed off a lot of the senior players. And it basically left Graham Potter to lose the locker room and be kind of left on an island of nobody really paying attention to him. Everything that West Ham did successfully was in spite of him. It showed. It showed that they just didn't listen or didn't want to listen to what he was saying or any of the tactics that he thought would help. And I'm not gonna say he was a bad coach, because he definitely had like stints in Brighton where it showed that he was definitely like very smart. He knew what he was doing, but he just did like brain dead decisions, not only on the field but in the back, where it kind of pissed people off and they just didn't want to listen to him. And he's not one of those coaches that demands respect. He is very much one of those quiet, here's the tactic, go make it work. If you want an example, he's kind of like a Jason Garrett or a Mike McCarthy. He's not one of those that demands respect. He has his moments, but he's not gonna be out there yelling and demanding respect. He's not like a Dan Campbell, who's a player's coach, who is beloved, who even if you do something good, he'll find a way to get in your face to get more out of you. He wants the best out of you. That's not Graham Potter. And he definitely put us in like a big hole this season. We were bottom of the table? I think we were like always in relegation and pretty close to being bottom of the table if it wasn't for Wolves being so bad as well. West Ham would have very easily been like bottom of the table for most of the beginning of the season. And another bad thing that I know I'm going back and forth with GSB, but this past transfer window, both in the summer and the winter, were probably one of the best that I've seen. Were they perfect? No, of course they weren't. They were still pretty they were still pretty bad. But the players that they brought in, like El Hadji Malik Diouf, Mateus Fernandez, Tati Castellanos, Axel Disasi, these are players that I've been wanting. Like, oh my God, yes, finally some good quality players to bring into this team that needs it. And it wasn't because I knew like, oh my gosh, they finally care. It's like, oh my gosh, they're scared that we're going to get relegated. They're scared that West Ham is finally going to get relegated once again. If they truly felt that fear, why are you keeping Graham Potter through the summer? Like, they fully gave him a whole contract to stay out and be the coach for West Ham for the next couple years. Like, why are you doing that? And of course he was fired like around, when did he get fired? He was fired around like September, and he still wasn't even the first coach to get fired. Like, that is ridiculous. Like, how? I do commend Nuno though for the job he did. Again, was it perfect? Of course, no, he was like really bad, but he had a really bad squad that he kind of had to deal with, not only with injuries, but as well as like a lack of quality. And AFCON as well. He lost Wan-Bissaka and Diouf to AFCON. It definitely felt like he was kind of biding his time for the January transfer window to finally, put his full tactic that he had in his mind out on the field. And that's where I was kind of like, why are we waiting for January? But I definitely commend him for the passion that he brought into the last couple of months. At least he did bring something to the table. It felt like we were dead in the water in January. It felt like we could very easily be bottom and be just humiliated going into the championship and just spiraled down and down and down. But thankfully he brought a sort of confidence And it wasn't just him. It was definitely like some of the transfers that were made definitely brought that in as well. But as a coach, I think he was pretty good for what he had to do. West Ham came like out of nowhere and were like very close to staying up until like said the last day, where even though they won, it still wasn't enough. Looking to the future, I don't know if I would want him though. I think he was good for what he did, but I don't know if I would want him for the championship. I think he built a good system, and I feel like West Ham should go out and find a coach that can build off of what he did. A lot of the reports are saying that it's going to be Scott Parker.
No. Wait.
Fuck no. No disrespect to Scott Parker, but no. I think we went through Graham Potter. I think Scott Parker, although he is like slightly better, it's just not going to work out well. It's going to be kind of like how Burnley are doing. No offense to Burnley, but I think if we get Scott Parker in, it's just going to be how they're doing it. Just promotion, then relegation, promotion, and then relegation, promotion, and then relegation. And I don't want that for West Ham. I want them to go to the championship, get the youth in, get them into the lineup, and get promoted and stay promoted and make money off of, you know, not only some of the players, but just make some good decisions in the transfer market as well. When you're in the championship, you can get some real good gems that you can kind of get away with because, again, you're in the championship. No offense to the championship, but it's just not at the same level as the Premier League. And you can honestly get like a pretty good player down there. One last thing, I do want to go through the squad and kind of have my predictions for who's going to stay and who's going to leave for the team next year. And I just kind of want to go one by one. The squad isn't that big, so this shouldn't take that long. But again, this is just kind of like not only who I think, but who I hope is going to stay. And we're just going to go down the list, kind of like position by position. We're going to start off with Hermasen. Shout out to him, man. He was like ridiculed at the start by the fans. Like, what is wrong with y'all? A child. He's my age. This dude is 25. Got ridiculed for like a couple bad games that honestly it wasn't even on him. It was on Kilman and the rest of the back line that would just kind of just fuck them over. I hope he stays. He's pretty good, and he's still young. He'll be really good for us in the championship. Areola, he's not gonna stay. Not only do I not want him to stay, I don't think he is. He'll probably go back to France. A team with aspiration for Europe will probably get him in France. He just isn't good at set pieces, and he's just not that vocal. Hermasen isn't either, but he's younger, and he can develop to be that. I think Areola is just too far into it, and he's not going to be a backup keeper. Todibo, he might leave, which is gonna be a little sad. I think he barely started getting into his bag of being comfortable in the Premier League. I think a good mid-table team in the Premier League should get him like a Bournemouth. They're going into Europe, or Sunderland. He'll probably be good at Sunderland. Kilman, somebody should take him out back and shoot him in the back of the head in Fortnite. Kilman, I don't want him to wear a West Ham shirt ever again. He is the embodiment of the Antichrist. He is the worst signing I've seen West Ham do since Sergio Roberto, and at least they managed to bench him after a couple games. We've had to endure Max Kilman for about 2 years now, and I've wanted to shoot myself in the head in Fortnite ever since I've seen him play. Disasi, he came in on loan. If we stayed up, I know for a fact he would have stayed with us, but now that we're in I just don't think he is. He was so good, and again, so many of the fans just didn't want him. He was the shining light that came to West Ham, a godsend, man. I hope they start him in Chelsea. He deserves Premier League football, man. Oh my gosh! And with how bad Chelsea are doing defensively, he should 100% start for Chelsea. Mavropanos, I hope he stays for us. It's like 50-50 with him. I hope he stays. He's so good. And there's a part of me that thinks he might be captain. There's a little somebody that we're going to talk about at the end of this. Mavropanos, I hope he stays. If he doesn't, there's nothing wrong with that. I hope he does well. Ezra Myers, he's probably going to start for us next year. He's really good. He's only 19. I know he's undersized as a center back, but he's so good. If they can transition him to like either left or right back, he'll be pretty fucking good. Like he's so good. He's so good. When he was playing for the FA Cup, I know it's just the FA Cup, but he's so good. He's just so alert. He's so fast. Diouf might leave, and another guy who's so young, so good, so electric. I think the only thing that he struggled with was defending. He's good at tackling, but he's just like kind of like on and off with the defending, and he lets a couple people go by him. And I think he's kind of doing that on purpose because I think he can beat them with his pace. And most of the time he does, but other times they just go by him, which is a little disappointing. But he can develop that. He's so young. Somebody in Europe should get him. Somebody playing in the Europa League or the Champions League should get him. He's so good. Ollie Scarles, he'll probably be our starting left back next season. He had a couple bad appearances for us, but it comes with age. He's only 20 in the Premier League. Like he's had so many better games to the mistakes that he had. It's whatever, honestly. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he's not gonna stay. No disrespect to him, but I think his ego just isn't gonna let him be in the championship. Like no way in hell. And his head just wasn't in it this season. Like last year he was pretty good. This year I don't know what happened. It just seemed like he just didn't want to play, which is fine. If he wants to leave, he can leave. Kyle Walker-Peters, he should stay. I think he'll stay for us. He might not. I don't know. He is getting up there in age, so I don't know if anybody would want him. But he was very good for us this year, especially when Wan-Bissaka went to AFCON. Walker-Peters was definitely like a good replacement for him. Magasa, I don't know. I think he would stay with us, but I don't know if he would like start or be on the bench. He's really raw. He's so inconsistent though. Just so inconsistent. I don't know. Maybe going to the championship might help him develop with less competition. That was the Premier League, but I don't know. Souček, I don't know with Souček, man. I know David Moyes loves him, so he might go to Everton. But there's a part of me that thinks he has to stay at West Ham. I think they really have to try their best to keep Souček in the championship. If he doesn't, there's no disrespect, man. If you want to stay in the Premier League and go to Everton, fair enough. Go ahead. But this is the midfield that I think is going to start is Freddie Potts and Mamadou Kanté. Two guys that honestly deserve so much more game time this season. Freddie Potts especially. And I'm kind of upset at Nuno because he promised that the youth would get more of a chance. And a lot of the fans were thinking, oh my gosh, this is finally Freddie Potts' time to be kind of seen as the next Declan Rice. Because he definitely has that potential, but he just isn't that. He just doesn't have the size that Declan has. But he definitely has the drive and the physicality and the skill set. I hope he gets his chance in the championship because he's really good. And Mamadou Kanté, like he came in from Paris FC. They sent him to the under 21s, and it was very apparent he's too good for that. Don't play with him. Don't play with him. He's so good. Every time he played, he came on for the FA Cup or when he's come on for the Premier League. Like he just looks like stronger, faster than everybody else. If he plays for us, if we manage to keep him for the championship, he's gonna wreck house in the championship. I don't think anybody can stop him. This one I'm kind of sad about. Mateus Fernandes. I know they gave the Player of the Year for West Ham to Mavropanos. If there's anybody else who deserves that award, it's this guy, man. And again, the fans were so hesitant to kind of put their backing towards this because of how expensive he was. I think we bought him for like 40 million, something like that. It was something expensive like that. And it honestly could have been so much more if it wasn't Southampton. A lot of them were kind of on that. I told you so. I told you so. He was a waste of money. But again, blame Graham Potter for that. But I know he's gonna leave. Like, I know a Liverpool is gonna want him. I know probably a Man City are probably gonna want him. Maybe Arsenal. Like, there's so many big teams that are gonna want this man. He's so good at set pieces. He's the perfect number 8 for the Premier League. Somerville, I love him, man. Even though he has an injury problem, I don't care, man. He's so good, man. He's so good. Definitely a European side is gonna swipe up immediately. Once that transfer window hits, they're going to swipe and get Somerville for a pretty good deal. Somebody, a team probably in the Serie A that's looking at Europa or even Champions League. Like, he has a potential to be so good playing it in the Champions League. La Madrid, he didn't have a chance to play this year a lot, or if any. I think he only played like 2 games off the bench, or I think he started like 1 game for us in the FA Cup or something like that. I hope he gets the chance, but I don't know yet. He's so much of an I don't know. He could stay for us. He could not. I don't know. Adama Traore, he might leave. If Nuno doesn't stay with us, he's gonna leave. Tati Castellanos, I think he already made it clear that he doesn't want to play in the championship and he wants to play for a big side, which is sad because he's so good. Like, so many people, again, it's one of those, oh, he's overrated, he's not that good. That's for the people that don't see what he does with how much of a just a physical force that he is. He's a traditional number 9 who's just there at the back line, just making everybody who's playing center back just making their job so hard. He's just always on them, and at times I don't know why they take him off. Like, he doesn't look tired. If he's playing like 70 minutes, those 70 minutes he's constantly just running, tackling, slide tackling in positions to score a goal. And I know sometimes he does have like brain dead decisions of like, why are you, like, what are you doing? But he's so good, man. He's so good. He definitely deserves like a good team to go to, man. Pablo might stay. I don't want him to stay, but he might stay. I hope he does good in the championship. I don't want him to stay, but he's gonna stay. He's young, so I hope he does develop well, but I'm not a big fan of him. Callum Wilson, I don't think he's staying. I think it was only like a 1-year deal, and even then, I don't think, like, it's Callum Wilson. He doesn't go to the championship. The last player, of course, is going to be our captain, Jared Bowen. I don't know, man. There's a part of me that wants him to do what Jamie Vardy did with Leicester, but that's just me being selfish. He shouldn't stay with us. He's too good to be in a championship. That's just the end all be all. That's just it. He's too damn good to play in the championship. I just don't think he should be in the championship. He should really go to Liverpool. He should go to Liverpool and replace Salah, man. He's that type of player, man. And it sucks because if he was playing for any other team that wasn't West Ham, he would be in that World Cup side for England. I love him so much, man, but he needs to go. He needs to go and go to a better team, man. He doesn't, for the player that he is, he doesn't deserve to be stuck in the championship, man. And the one thing I do want to take out of this is I hope West Ham come out better than they look right now. I hope they do have one of those record seasons in the championship, but that is just me being hopeful. I don't think they, like, I'm so 50-50 because I know how difficult the championship really is. With the side that West Ham have right now, it is just kind of wait and see what they can do in the transfer market in the summer. But right now, I don't think they have the squad to win the championship. They might end up in the playoffs. A part of me just hopes they kind of stay there for like a year or two and develop the youth and have the youth kind of be the squad. Going alongside again getting some good little gem players from the championship and just across the world that a lot of teams just aren't looking at, but West Ham have the chance of getting just because again they're in the championship and they can get away with getting a couple of weird names. The one main thing I do want is GSB out. Um, Ever since the movement started, for them to be out, I've been very for them to be out. I know one half of them has already left. The family of David Gold, I think, have already sold their remaining stock. All that's left is Sullivan to sell his stock. I hope he does, and I hope somebody's there to buy it and truly make West Ham what they used to be. But that's again just me being hopeful. Do I think it will happen? Probably not. But again, I just hope that West Ham come out of this better than how they're going into it.